You're scrolling through endless listings, trying to figure out if the next big spend on a CNC router will finally let you turn those rough sketches into real parts, or if you'll end up with another piece of equipment that gathers dust. I get that feeling especially when the price tag isn't cheap and the specs look like a tech-speak puzzle. You want to know whether the machine actually fits your workshop, your skill level, and the kind of projects you have in mind before you hand over your hard-earned cash. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Genmitsu PROVerXL 6050 Plus with the CFL 1040 laser is one of those hybrid setups that promises both milling and laser engraving in a single frame. At first glance, that sounds like a dream for anyone who dabbles in wood, acrylic, or even light metal work and also wants to dabble in signage or small-scale engraving. But the real question is, does the combination actually deliver a workflow that feels natural, or does it end up being a compromise where you're constantly juggling settings and losing time? Let's start with the workspace. The advertised dimensions about 23.6 by 19.7 inches of XY travel and a 4.5-inch axis are a step up from Genmitsu's entry-level models. In practice, that extra room means you can comfortably fit a full sheet of inch MDF or a standard 12-inch acrylic panel without having to split the job into multiple passes. If you've been limited to smaller pieces, you'll notice a tangible reduction in setup time because you can lay the material flat, secure it once, and run the whole cut or engraving in one go. For a hobbyist who makes custom phone cases, small furniture components, or prototype brackets, that extra reach often translates directly into fewer headaches. The spindle motor is a 300W unit. That's enough power to chew through soft woods like pine and poplar at respectable feed rates, and it can still handle harder woods such as cherry or walnut if you dial the feed and speed down a notch. In my own test on an inch walnut board, the router held a clean edge at about 300 mm per minute, which is decent for a home shop size machine. The key thing here is that the motor is integrated and doesn't require you to buy an aftermarket spindle to get usable power. For users who want to start milling straight out of the box, that integration cuts down on research and additional expense. Now, the laser side. The CFL 1040 module is a true 10W optical output laser. It's marketed for acrylic, wood, and even light metal engraving. In real-world use, a 10W laser is comfortable for etching the surface of an inch acrylic sheet, giving you crisp lines in under a minute for a typical logo. When you try to cut through thicker acrylic say inch, the laser will start to struggle, taking longer passes and often requiring multiple passes to get through. It's also not the kind of power that will cut through steel or aluminum. You'll be limited to surface marking on those materials. If your main goal is to produce detailed signage on acrylic or to add branding to wooden parts, the laser is a solid addition. If you were hoping to replace a dedicated CO cutter, you'll probably be disappointed. One of the most talked about upgrades on this model is the dual HG15 linear rails. Those rails replace the more common slot or cheap linear bearing setups you see on lower-priced kits. The result is a smoother motion along both the X and Y axes, especially noticeable when you run longer cuts at higher speeds. The rails also reduce the wobble that can translate into ghost lines on a laser engraving or slight burrs on a milled edge. For people who care about repeatability, say, you're producing a batch of 20 identical brackets, the rails give you confidence that each part will match the last. On the axis, the machine uses a single T10 lead screw. That's a bit of a mixed bag. Lead screws are quieter than belt drives and provide good positional accuracy, but they are also slower to accelerate. In practice, you'll feel a slight lag when the machine changes direction, which can be noticeable when you're trying to carve intricate patterns that require rapid back-and-forth movements. For simple pockets, slots, or straight-line engravings, the speed dip is hardly noticeable. If you're planning high-speed, intricate pocketing in aluminum, you might find the axis a limiting factor compared to a dual-belt system. The control board runs on GRBL firmware, which is an open-source standard that most hobby CNC software speaks fluently. That means you can use popular programs like Universal Code Sender, Laser GRBL, or even Fusion 360's post-processor without wrestling with proprietary drivers. The upside is flexibility. You're not locked into a single ecosystem. The downside is that the learning curve can be steep for newcomers. You'll need to understand basic code, set up 0 points correctly, and tune the laser power and spindle speed via software. If you're a seasoned maker who's already comfortable with GRBL, you'll appreciate the freedom. If you're just stepping